Hey, this is Fly Guy for TekSushi.com and for DorksideToys.com, giving you a review, the next in our Marvel Infinite series wave. This is Rocket Raccoon from the comic series. We'll just take a look at this in just a second. There's the standard card art, no change from the previous releases really there. Rocket Raccoon name down at the bottom. And in the back we get a look at some of the other figures, which we'll get round to reviewing shortly. We've got Marvel's Wonder Man, the kind of only real, truly new figure in this wave. Star-Lord, Drax, and of course here's Rocket. And that's the back of the card. There's a picture of Rocket there again. Again, not from the movie, but from the comic book, so a slightly different version for some of you that aren't used to that. And of course, a little mini Groot. Now this figure has came out before in a multi-pack, but maybe 2 years ago, and you used to be able to get Drax and Star-Lord and Rocket and Groot in this pack. I believe that was all of them. And so they've been re-released here again in this Infinite Series line. Actually quite welcome by me, but it's up to you whether some of you may have seen a lot of these on pegs or shelves. But it's good to, I think, get this figure back because Rocket is in demand. So he comes with a whopping huge gun, so let's get a look at that first. And there's the figure there, and we'll show you Groot in just a second. So let's get a look at this gigantic weapon, and it's pretty damn cool. It was the same weapon again as he's had before, but sculpted beautifully. So you've got a knife at the front there of the weapon, another hand to hold it, if you could hold it, a finger trigger, which he can hold, and this kind of stock at the back there. So it's beautifully done. It's got a little bit of chromy kind of colouring with a bit of black weathering underneath it there, so it adds to the effect and it makes a nice looking gun. Very glad this isn't just a black standard gun again, so nice to see that from Hasbro. We'll look at the figure in just a minute, but let's get a look at Groot. Here is tiny little Groot. Look at that face there, it's a little skull. Kinda creepy. But there we go, and the little plants coming out of him. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. It's incredibly small. So let's focus that camera just a little bit more there if I can. There we go. So little Groot in his plant pot. The figure has no articulation, as I'm sure you'd imagine, but just like the comic books, Rocket takes a leaf of Groot, sorry, just like the movie and the comic books, Rocket takes a leaf and plants it, and Groot regrows. So there's Groot bottom. And some nice weathering done on that, nice little touches for such a small, tiny, as you can see this is the size of my finger here, so or barely the size of my thumb, so very cool little figure, nice little cute addition to it. And if you wanted to get your Guardians together, this is one that you'll want. So he comes with his buddy Rocket, and here he is. This is a figure that really doesn't have any articulation, but will, apart from the head, we'll show you that in just a second. But it's certainly nicely done. It doesn't seem to be any different from the previous release from my eye. I don't have a picture or one of them on hand to have a look, but I think it's pretty much the same. Pretty much close anyway. But the paint application looks quite good. Rocket's fur around his face is quite nicely done. The sculpting in his uniform is very similar to the 6-inch version of him, the Build-A-Figure Rocket, in many, many ways. But some nice weathering details, a little pouch, a little bit of chrome around the belt, the red around his outfit there, and his red gloves, and the tail with the stripes on it. Yeah, it's nicely sculpted. It's not bad at all. But in terms of articulation, there's not a lot going on in this figure, and there are no peg holes on the figure itself. However, he does stand well because of this gigantic bushy ball-jointed tail, which you can only really put in one position, and that is that, which allows it to basically stand, and the tail supports it. If you move that tail up, Rocket will just fall over because the tail's too heavy. So you're kind of limited by this figure. There's not a real great deal of articulation, but he does look kind of cool, I think, especially with his blaster and Groot kicking around. So there's no articulation on the arms or the wrists or the legs. There's nothing. You get that tail and this ball-jointed head. So you can see that ball joint there. If I try and pop that off, there we go. Gigantic brown noggin. If we pop that back on. So you get plenty of movement on the head side of things, and probably better if you're posing him in some other kind of way, maybe with his weapon or whatever it may be. But he's cool. He's not a bad looking figure. If you want to pick this guy up, he's available in a 4-pack or 6-pack of the Wave. It's Wave 4 of the Infinite Avengers, and there's a link directly underneath the video to buy it if you want to get that. So just click there and you can go and have a look at the rest of the Wave. Love to know your thoughts on this figure. What do you think? Is it worth it? Is it rocket? Is it essential? Is it not? What do you think? Leave a comment below and let us know. And if you like these videos, you can click subscribe here to Dorkside Toys or TekSushi. Either way, you'll get the freshest Marvel reviews, G.I. Joe and other stuff straight into your inbox. That's it. We shall see you for another Marvel Infinite Avengers review coming up next.